Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and we're taking a look at the data classification capabilities. So, sensitive information types are classifications or categories of data by sensitivity. They are pattern-based classifiers, and they have set patterns that can be used to identify them. So within the Microsoft Purview data classification feature, you can get a breakdown of the distribution of sensitive info types. So here, imagine you have a bunch of documents and you said, hey, tell me what you found in these documents, and there it gives it kind of a breakdown by type. These types are identified based on regular expression or a function. There are hundreds of built-in information types, for example, credit card numbers, passport or identification numbers, bank account numbers, health service numbers, IP addresses, Azure Storage account keys, and driver's license numbers. So it's a huge list. And so here's a list of some sensitive info types. These sensitive information types are used in data loss prevention policies, sensitivity labels, retention labels, insider risk management, communication compliance, and auto labeling policies. Generally, the first thing you're going to do with your data classification is to get your sensitive information types. And you can create your own info types too. So if there's something that doesn't meet your needs, you'll have to write your own regular expression, but you can have whatever you want. Another feature found in data classification within Microsoft Purview are trainable classifiers. Let's talk about what training is and classifiers are. So a classifier is a machine learning model that can take records of data and classify or categorize by applying a label from a predetermined list of categories. Then you have training, and this is the act of teaching a machine learning model how to learn by providing it large amounts of data that is already labeled. It uses the labeled data to tell if its predictions are similar to the ones provided. So within Microsoft Purview, it has two kinds of trainable classifiers. Pre-trained classifiers are ready-to-use classifiers with 5 pre-trained classifiers. We'll talk about those 5 in a moment. You don't need to provide any data used for training, and it meets many general use cases. Then you have custom trainable classifiers. This is when you have your own kind of documents. When you have specific business documents, but you'll have to provide training data. So the 5 pre-trained classifiers are resumes, source code, harassment, profanity, and threat. Another feature in the data classification within Microsoft Purview is Content Explorer. So this enables administrators to gain visibility into the content that has been summarized in the overview pane. It drills down to find emails or documents that have been labeled based on sensitive information types, sensitivity labels, or retention labels. There are 2 roles that grant access to Content Explorer. You have Content Explorer List Viewer and Content Explorer Content Viewer. So the idea here is you have broad categories on left-hand side. So you see the 3 categories: sensitive info types, sensitivity labels, and retention labels. And then what you'll do is click into one, and then they'll have specific actual items underneath, and you click into one of those. And then from there, you can go on the right-hand pane over here. You can go and explore different documents and files to identify that kind of information. The other explorer here is the Activity Explorer, and this helps discover which file labels were changed and which files were modified. So it monitors label activity across Exchange, SharePoint, OneDrive, and endpoint devices. A few activity types that can be analyzed are file copied to removable media, file copied to network share, label applied, and label changed. And admins can use more than 30 filters for data including location, user, sensitivity label, and retention label. So here is a great visual to help you get the idea. So here you have filters, so activity, location, user, and the type of sensitivity label. And then you can see it says label changed here in light blue. And you can see these labels were applied in a darker tone of blue, and files copied to the cloud in dark orange. So it represents the amount of files or labels according to the visual. So it helps you get an idea of what this does.